Tom with Elevating WordPress. In this video I'm going to show you how to rank higher in Google Maps. So Google Maps is also known as the local stack snack pack results, which are these right here. So if you Google a localized keyword like Chicago graphic design classes, you can see Ascend Training is ranked #1. They're a client of mine and I teach SEO there. It's an Adobe certified training center, and I actually wrote an SEO workbook that I use exactly for the class so that you can download here. I'll leave a link in the YouTube video description to this workbook, and it has a local SEO section as well as like speed optimization, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and that you can review the table of contents here. But it's about 180 pages. I spent months working on this workbook. So it is free and you can just download the PDF, but everything I'm about to go over is in that PDF. I also included timestamps in the video description if you want to jump to certain sections. So I'm going to get right into it. This is basically everything we're going to do, and everything we do is going to be based off of Google's local search ranking factors. So if you just Google local search ranking factors, Moz does a study every 2 years on the top ranking factors, and this is what all the SEOs follow or should be following. But you can see it's split into a nice pie chart, and it's pretty easy to understand. So we have Google My Business, we have external local signals, which are like internet yellow pages, citations, which are online mentions of your business name. Those are commonly like directories and core profiles like Facebook, Yelp, Kudzu, Merchant Circle, things like that. NAP consistency stands for business name, address, phone, and those should be consistent across all your citations and your website. On-page SEO basically means that NAP is consistent on your website and that you're building out landing pages around your localized keywords. Links, you want to get links from relevant sites. Reviews, you want to get reviews mainly on your Google My Business page, but other ones are important like Yelp and everything. But the Google My Business reviews are what makes these stars show up right here, and you need about 5 of them to get those stars showing up. Social signals, like how many times your pages are shared on Google Plus and Facebook. Click-through rate means if people search a keyword, how many people are actually clicking on your link. And you can optimize those by writing a more descriptive title tag and meta description. But Google Maps are really the local stack snack pack factors. So Google Maps, the local stack pack results are these, and these are the localized organic. So if you Google your keywords and the snack pack results are the main ones that show up on top, those are the main factors you want to target. So local SEO can actually be divided into that local snack pack and the localized organic. I like to go for the local snack pack, the snack pack results, just because those are the first things that show up usually. But you can see that citations, consistency of structured citations, remember those are online mentions of your business name, like in Yelp, Facebook, Google My Business. That's the #2 ranking factor, as well as the #5, the quality and authority of these citations. So I'm going to be going through all this, and I'm just going to walk you through it step by step. So the first thing you want to do is Google My Business. If you have multiple locations, you're going to want to create a Google My Business page for each location, and that goes for all your citations. So each location should have its own Yelp page, its own Facebook page, Kudzu, and all those other online directories. But you want one per location, and you really want to make sure this is filled out 100% complete. You'd be amazed at how many people don't do this. But you would just sign in, and Google literally prompts you on what you need to do. But you want to do things like, verify your profile, I'll just do an example right here. Verify your profile, write a unique description, an introduction, use the correct www version of your website, add your hours, list your primary category first, and then any additional categories listed second. That's very important though. Your primary category should always be listed first, and you should always list as many relevant categories as you can. But you can see there's this info tab, here's the photos tab. So you really want to fill this out as much as you can. Team photos, product photos, additional photos, identity photos like your logo. Upload as many professional photos as you can. And if it means hiring a photographer, that's fine. Here are the reviews. So if you get Google reviews, which you should, you can respond to them here and manage them. But basically, just to get a review on Google, you would just type in like code clean and then the location, which in this case would be Libertyville. And you can see on the right, here's the Google page. And you want to do, it'll say be the first to review or write a review, something like that. That's where you want to send your customers. So I did list a lot of stuff right here, Google My Business included. Like I said, you want to fill it out 100% complete, no duplicates. You do not want any duplicate profiles. That goes with Google My Business and all your citations. You can use Google Map Maker to search for duplicates. All you do is go to Google Map Maker and search your business name, and then if you see multiple duplicates right here, then you want to make sure you delete those. Sometimes Google Map Maker does not catch all the duplicates, so you want to search for your company name Google Plus, and so like coat it clean Google Plus. So this one's new, but if you see multiple pages in here on your Google My Business page, then you want to make sure you delete those. You want to make sure you, like I said, write a 400 plus word unique description. I think this is called the introduction in your Google My Business page, so make sure that is completely unique. Don't just copy and paste that. Upload as many photos as you can, verify your profile, get a custom URL. If getting a virtual tour makes sense, then I would definitely do that. Local business orders, so if people can book appointments or reserve a dinner table online, then here is a link where it has instructions to do that, and that will add the place and order tab right here, so people can do that directly within Google. By the way, I will list all links in the YouTube description for this, but I'm just giving you an overview of everything so you have the option, and then if you want to do more research on it, then I'll leave the tutorials in the video description. Like I said, list your primary category first, second category is after. So that is Google My Business in a nutshell. Just make sure it's 100% complete, you don't have any duplicates, upload as many photos as you can, verify your profile, and so forth. One per location. The next thing you want to do is run your business through Moz Local. So I mentioned citations, which are online mentions of your business name. And these are like profiles and directories. Moz Local will analyze your top 15 citations. So we'll just go to Moz Local. And I'll just do a sample business right here, Ragsdale Inc. in Lake Bluff. If you see multiple business names right here for your company, then you want to make sure you go through all of those. So your goal right here is to get your score as close to 100% as you can. Moz Local offers a service, but it's an ongoing fee. I would just do this manually so you don't have to pay that. But you can see as you click through each tab, you have complete profiles. So I need to create a profile in Best of the Web. I think that's a paid directory though, so you can ignore it. Axiom is a good one though. Incomplete. So basically right here, the majority of incomplete profiles usually means you have to, add more photos, add more categories. Sometimes it's only possible to list a few categories, so you can't always get these 100% complete. But you can click this Update Listing tab and it will go directly to your profile so you can correct it. Same with the Inconsistent tab. Missing a website, this is listed as the wrong website. Sometimes the address or the phone number is inconsistent, or even the name. But you want to make sure all your profiles are consistent, and Moz Local will help you do that. You also want to make sure you don't have any duplicates, so this will find any duplicate profiles so you can go there and delete them. But like I said, you want to do this for, if you have multiple locations, do this for each location. Run each location through Moz Local and try to get your score as high as you can. Pause. Go. Since citations are the number 2 and number 5 ranking factor in the local stack snack pack results, we want to make sure those are... Pause. Since citations are the number 2 and number 5 ranking factor in the snack pack results, we want to make sure we have a lot of those because they're so important. So you probably don't want to build all these directories. It is time consuming, and there are lists of the best ones. So Whitespark is where you want to go for this next step. So Whitespark specializes in citation building and citation audits. They have, if you go over resources, they have a list of the top citations by category, by city, and by country. So these are lists of the best citations, and you basically just go to those profiles and create them for your business. If you want to outsource this, Whitespark does have a service for $4 to $5 per citation. They will build these for you. And this is what I use for all my clients. You can click citation building right here, and for $4 to $5 per citation, their citation experts will go out and find the best ones for your business. They won't create duplicates, and they will keep all your information consistent. And the way they do that is you basically fill out an intake on their website. So you select the country, select which citations you want, and then here you would download the intake and fill it out and then upload it. So this basically asks for your business name, categories, descriptions, photos, anything that's needed to build these directories and citations. And then you can click to view options. I usually just leave this blank, but if you are doing multiple locations, there is a spot in the intake where you can fill it out for multiple locations. But Whitespark has amazing reviews. If you look at their Google reviews, they have 116 reviews, 4.9 stars. I use them for all my clients, and like I said, because citations are so important, you can spend maybe like $300, $400 and just get a ton of these, and within about 2 to 3 months you should see a substantial difference in your maps results. Just keep in mind that there's other things besides citations, but this will knock out that item. One thing I do want to point out, if you do use Whitespark or if you sign up for these free listings, is that they are free for a reason. So keep in mind, anyone can call you, and you might get some spam through your contact form or your phone. So I would add a captcha to your contact form and maybe use an anti-spam plugin, and make sure you don't list your cell phone number or you might get a bunch of spammy calls. But if you do sign up for Whitespark, I listed an affiliate link in the video description. I basically get 10% off the sale. I'd appreciate it. It's going straight to student loans if you do. If not, that's cool too, but I did list it in the video description. So that will take care of citations. Google My Business is the most important one. Moz Local will analyze your top 15 citations. Whitespark, you will build additional citations for $4 to $5 a piece by filling out their intake and then sending it to them. So I already went over for multiple locations. Like I said, you want one Google My Business page, one Yelp page, one Facebook page per location. The next thing is to get reviews specifically on your Google My Business profile, which I already covered, but the reason you want to do that is so you can get those review stars in Google like they have here. And this is actually a ranking factor as well. So not only do they help your branding, but they're also a ranking factor. So the next step is going to be more on website optimizations, and that starts with learning your keywords. So I always like to go to google.com, and then I'm going to do Chicago blank photographer, and I'm going to do this underline thing right here. So this will tell me all the keywords people are searching and what specific photography services I might want to target. If I'm a Chicago wedding photographer and I only have one primary keyword, then you're going to want to target that phrase on your home page and really just focus on that. But if you have multiple services, which you should be researching just to see if people are searching for it, then you should have separate pages on your website for newborn photographer, nanny photographer, engagement, maternity. If two phrases are very similar or the same, like newborn and baby, or similar enough, then you probably only need one page on your website about it. But you just create one page for each of these with your primary keyword listed, targeted on your home page, since that's the most important page on your site. One thing I do want to point out, small towns have less people in them, so there's going to be less searches going on. And what that means for your keywords is the keywords are going to be broader. So if I'm targeting a small town like Lake Forest photographer, you're not going to see the newborn photographer, the headshot photographer. You're really only going to focus on the broad phrase Lake Forest photographer. So small towns basically have broader keywords, while larger cities have more people in them, and the keywords are going to get more specific, like the Chicago newborn photographer, Chicago headshot photographer, and so forth. And like I said, I use Google Autocomplete to research these keywords. It is the easiest, best place to start. If it shows up in Google Autocomplete, chances are it's being searched for a good amount. Is through Moz Keyword Explorer. So if you go here and just Google Moz Keyword Explorer, it's completely free. But I just did a search for Chicago photographer, and you can get additional ideas here. So Chicago model photographer did not show up in Google Autocomplete, so we can add that to our keyword list if that's a service we offer. And yeah, you might get additional ideas here that may have not showed up in Google Autocomplete. So definitely check both tools to get ideas. Blog keywords. So for example, if I go to Google average cost of wedding photographer Chicago, this is just one I found, that would be a great blog post. So you wouldn't really add a page on your website for this. This would be more of a blog post, just comparing the pricing of like you versus other people, but that would be a good blog post keyword. So geotargeted landing pages. You really want to start with the local keywords and building one page per keyword. That's the main thing about content optimization. It's not really about how many times your keyword is in your website. It's about building content around the right phrases. That is the first step to content optimization, is learning your keywords so you know what pages on your website you have to add. And then from there, once you know that, then you add the page and then you design and optimize the content. So I'll just do a quick example. I did write a tutorial about if you're using WordPress and using the Yoast SEO plugin. My tutorial is this one, choosing focus keywords in Yoast SEO plugin. But I did create a separate video for this if you want to learn about content optimization. This applies to not only WordPress, it can apply to any website, just use the same strategies, but you want to include the keyword in like the page title, the first couple times in the content body. In the image, you want to, before you upload it to WordPress, you would name the image something descriptive. It doesn't have to be the keyword, just make sure it describes the image. That's called the alt text. And you know, it has a lot of good recommendations here. But have a checklist, and the other part besides content, like your page title, including your keyword a couple times in the content body, and then the alt text for the image, is your snippet. So this is what appears in Google's search results. It consists of your title tag, which is the choosing focus keywords in Yoast SEO plugin, and then the meta description, which is below it. So if you Chicago wedding photographers, everyone is going to have this keyword in their title tag, most likely. But this person did award-winning team of Chicago wedding photographers. So that award-winning kind of makes them stand out. That's what's called a modifier. So not only do you want to include your keyword, but you also want to include like an adjective, a modifier, to make yours stand out from the rest of the crowd. And then you want to give a nice description as your meta description. Also, in your content body, I forgot to mention, is you want to include a couple links on the page. So by linking to relevant pages and posts, obviously it should be relevant to that page and useful for your visitors, but that's a natural way to build links to your website, and that is a good part of content optimization. If you Google on-page SEO, Backlinko actually has a really good guide to building a perfectly optimized page. I would definitely refer to this, but they include a lot of things I mentioned, like SEO-friendly URLs, keeping it short, including your keyword in the title tag, add the modifiers like I mentioned, adding a video. So it's not really all about just like using keywords. It's about keeping people on your page and improving that engagement with them, because Google measures things like average time on page. So you really want to improve the engagement. A video is an awesome thing you can do. Drop your keyword in the first 100 words, use responsive design, use outbound links and internal links like I mentioned. Sprinkle LSI keywords. These are just basically like synonyms and similar keywords. Image optimization, make sure you have the alt text name. Social sharing buttons, and then post long content. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see people see. I tell the client, you know, you need to add more pages to your website for these keywords. And then they go back and they add a bunch of thin, low value content. They don't take the time, they don't spend time on it, is what it comes down to. So if you want a page, you know, websites don't rank high. Individual pages are what ranks high. And you need to optimize whatever pages you want on your website. You need to spend time on those pages, you know, embedding a video, doing anything you can to improve the engagement with your visitors. So that is content optimization in a nutshell. A really good example of that is Seda Dental. This is a client I worked for. So if you have multiple locations, this is a great example of how to do it. They have a locations menu right up here, and they basically create a page for each location in Florida. So here's the one for Boynton Beach. It has their keyword in the page title, and the you know, it's got Boynton Beach in the paragraph right here, and then it has unique specific photos for that Boynton Beach location. This number is for the Boynton Beach location. Same with their address, the photos. These testimonials are from their Boynton Beach Google My Business page. So everything is tailored to Boynton Beach. You should not do a search and replace where you basically duplicate a bunch of pages and then just change the location to whatever location you want to rank for. You need to provide unique content for each location. So this is a great example of how to do that. I already covered the Backlinko On-Page SEO. Covered Yoast. I have a great tutorial on configuring the Yoast settings. It actually includes a pre-configured zip file of the same settings I use. If you just Google Yoast SEO plugin settings, mine is the Online Media Masters one. Website speed. So this is a whole can of worms in itself, but I did write a very good tutorial on this, which also has about 130 comments. 125. So this is specific to WordPress, but the process is nearly the same for any type of website. Here are all the steps, and like I said, I'll include links to all these tutorials in the video description if you want to learn, if you really want to hone in on specific things. But you can break this down into these recommendations. So the first thing you want to do is run your website through GTmetrix, because that will tell you exactly what you need to do. So if you see like serve scaled images, just means you need to resize images to fit their dimensions. Minify CSS or minify JavaScript means you need to install a cache plugin on your website like WP Fastest Cache. Delete, okay. Upgrade shared hosting. This is a number one recommendation WordPress has in their optimization guide. Without good hosting, your website is not going to run fast. So I recommend SiteGround. All my websites are hosted with them, and they load instantly. So you can just click through the pages, and you can see they load like in 0.5 seconds, I think, in GTmetrix. If you do sign up with SiteGround, I included an affiliate link in the YouTube description. I would appreciate it if you used it. It basically earns me a commission off the sale at no expense to you. But it would help me pay off my student loans. The next step is delete unused plugins. If you have any deactivated plugins on your site or extensions for Joomla, then delete all of them that you don't need. And work with your developer to try to minimize these. For example, you don't need a plugin to insert the Google Analytics tracking code. You can actually insert that directly into your footer. Configure a cache plugin. I recommend WP Fastest Cache or W3 Total Cache. WP Fastest Cache, they're both for WordPress. WP Fastest Cache is very easy to configure, and you can integrate that with Max CDN, and I have a tutorial on that which I'll leave in the YouTube description. But just that alone can shave multiple seconds off your load time. So here's my W3 Total Cache tutorial, and this is actually the most popular page on my website with 177 comments. It's helped multiple people. You can see all the comments. Tons of people have gotten, you know, from 7.4 to 2.8 seconds without CDN. I only use Cloudflare, thanks again. Definitely helped a lot of people with their site speed. So that also includes a pre-configured zip file if you're using WordPress. If not, I would just make sure you have caching on your website. Also configure Cloudflare and Max CDN. So Cloudflare is a free service that improves both your speed and security by acting as a proxy. All you really need to do is you're going to sign up, add your website. Cloudflare is going to scan your website. It's going to give you 2 name servers. You're going to go into your hosting account, like the cPanel, and change the name servers to the one Cloudflare gives you. And then you're going to want to go through the speed and page rules tab and configure those. But this tutorial that I have in the YouTube description has all these instructions. So if you're getting a little lost here, don't worry. Just either follow this, or I have a speed optimizer guy who can actually do this for you. It does get a little technical. So this guy, I've paid him more than $20,000 worth of development and speed optimization, and he's the guy who helped me optimize client sites to load in under like 1 second. I'm not going to show you the work page, but if you do get lost, this guy is amazing. I'll include a link in the YouTube description if you just want to outsource the speed optimization. But I will go through a few more things. MaxCDN's content delivery network hosts your website on multiple servers around the country and world. That basically shaves seconds off your load time for visitors who are far away. So if your content is hosted in Chicago, but someone's visiting your site in Europe, then it's going to take a long time for that content to travel. But if you have a content delivery network and one of those networks is in Europe, then it's not going to take a long time. So it basically mirrors your site across the world so people can access your website from the closest server. That is a paid service at $6.75 a month if you use my coupon, which I included in the video description. Optimize images, you can break this down into serve scaled images. If you check your GT metrics report, you can see serve scaled images, optimize images, and specify image dimensions are all high priority items in this report. All that means is serve scaled images, you need to resize and crop images to fit the proper dimensions, meaning the images is too large. GT metrics will tell you which images need to be optimized, and it will give you the correct dimensions to those images that need to be resized. For optimized images, that just means lossless compression. So if you're using WordPress, I use the Imagify plugin to losslessly compress all my images. I do not recommend free plugins because they might break your images. Specify image dimensions just means we need to specify a width and height in the HTML or CSS. So adding a width and height is all that means. You need to make sure you have that in the HTML or CSS. I'm not going to go over everything, but a few more things I do want to go over is, first of all, use a lightweight theme. This is extremely important. If you use a website template that is bloated with a bunch of features and code, it's going to load slow. So you want to use a minimal lightweight theme. If you're using WordPress, I recommend checking out StudioPress. Avoid Google Maps. You can go through these, but honestly, I would just hire this guy, the Speed Optimizer, for like 10 hours. It'll cost you $250, and your website will load a lot faster. So that is site speed. Google Search Console. If you don't have Google Search Console, I would definitely sign up. It's much different from Google Analytics. Analytics is more about measuring website traffic, while Google Search Console is more about actually improving your online visibility. So sign up for Google Search Console. You'll need to verify this and everything, and it may take a couple days to get stats, so you can actually even see anything. But once you wait a couple days and your dashboard is filled with some stats, then you can start working on this. So one of the first things I would do is go to crawl errors, and this will show all the broken pages on your site. And what you need to do is click each one and then redirect this to the correct page on your website. Don't just redirect them all to the home page, make sure they redirect to the most appropriate page on your site. So this just means maybe you create a page and then deleted it, but Google still is crawling it, and now it's a 404 page. So just make sure you go through all the crawl errors and set up your redirects. You can submit your sitemap to Google right here. You can see there's some errors and warnings. Google Index, nothing that important there. Search Analytics gives you an idea of the types of keywords you are ranking for. So Google Analytics doesn't show you keywords that you're ranking for. It's like a policy they did years ago. Search Console has a much better it gives you a much better idea of the queries you're ranking for. And you can check your click-through rates, what ranking position you're in, and this is a great way to measure your rankings. Find out which pages are ranking high but have low click-through rates. There's a lot of good stuff you can do here, so definitely check it out. Mobile usability. Google Search Console will show you all mobile errors, while their mobile testing tool will only show you errors for one page. So definitely make sure you check this mobile usability and fix any errors, especially because if your website is mainly for local visitors and you're doing local SEO, you don't want any mobile errors. International targeting. If we're targeting, only the United States, like Chicago or something, we can check this. Alright, so structured data. If you Google like mashed potatoes recipe, these are rich snippets. They're what give you review stars and like a photo, maybe a video here, ratings. So you can do this with certain types of content like events or reviews. I would just Google rich cards and check out markup your content items and see if any of these apply to you. But it is an excellent way to stand out in search results and drive additional traffic to your website. So if you're using WordPress, I would recommend using the WP Rich Snippets plugin, and I included a tutorial on that in this video description. But yeah, those rich snippets, if those apply to you, can be super helpful. The Google Search Console, verify it, add your sitemap, fix crawl errors with redirects. HTML improvements basically means your title tags and meta descriptions are either too short, long, or they're duplicates. You can find this in the HTML improvements right here. So you would just click this and find any duplicate meta descriptions and then correct these. International targeting, I went over. Mobile errors, rich card search analytics. So we're all good on Google Search Console. But I will leave a tutorial or just refer to the SEO workbook if you need more help with that. The mobile click to call button is a direct ranking factor in Google's local search ranking factors. So mobile clicks to call. There it is. So if a lot of people do call you from Google, or you think it would just be helpful, add a mobile click to call button to your header. Video SEO. So video keywords, just like I did the fill in the blank method in Google Autocomplete, you can find keywords just like that. You can also use Google or YouTube Autocomplete to do the same thing. But creating videos, I can't stress this enough because I like to create videos in conjunction with my blog tutorials. And that way I can embed the video in my blog tutorial, which helps my blog, improve engagement in SEO, but also the video can rank itself. If you want a definitive guide to ranking videos, here are all the YouTube ranking factors, and create your video, length as strength, mention your keyword a couple times, upload your video with the keyword as the file name, write a descriptive keyword rich video title, a long description, use timestamps if you want. So I have a lot of good tips on this. Obviously the custom thumbnail is big. Yeah, That's video SEO. Would definitely recommend it. Siteliner is the last item I'm going to go over, so that will check for broken links and duplicate content mainly. So just run your site through there. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any duplicate content, just write unique content. If you have any broken links, then correct those. Other than that, I know it's a ton of information, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, and I would be glad to help you. I also do SEO consulting. If you would like an audit or something, have me take a look at your website and provide you with recommendations or ongoing. I also teach an SEO class in Chicago if you're interested, but I'm glad to help you if you just have a few questions. Just comment on the video, and yeah, thanks for watching it.